There's no safety on revolver jokes on you.
Yeah,
What about Rich?
Shavir will
Shavir? Yep.
stop by America to check in on her, see how she's doing.
You stop by America. She
There's no
is.
safeties on revolvers because they ain't cowards.
They did only load 5 bullets in the 6 chambers, and they kept the hammer resting on the empty chamber. Fun fact.
Oh, that's neat, actually.
Yeah. Because let's be honest here. If you ain't hit the bugger with 5 rounds, you ain't hit him with a 6.
That's a good point.
Alright, so Jar, you go over to America, and she's sort of looking at Tolos, who's like, right next to her. Tolos is like in the midst of like writing something down, unsurprisingly, and America looks at you as you come on over and just gestures at the empty seat next to her.
Yeah, I'll take a seat. What are you working on? You seem busy.
You say it over to Tolos, who's in the midst of writing. Well, I'm just writing down. Honestly, there's so much that went into everything we just did. I'm just trying to get it all notated. A lot of different contexts that I had to account for and write down. Tolos is like scratching the back of her head. It's a lot, but I'm almost done, I think.
I was just about to say, if any one of us can do it, it's you.
America just chuckles along with that. She looks to you, though, solemnly. Thank you.
He just nods. So how did you feel?
She thinks on it, and then I feel happy that I was there.
Good. I think that's the best outcome we could ever hope for in a life or death situation like that.
Can I come along next time? America just bites you like, well, it depends, Tolis. It might be too dangerous for you. Tolis looks across America and looks to you, Sajarov, but.
Here's the thought, Tolis. Why don't you look into getting some sort of, I don't know, scrying tool? That way you could be present without physically putting yourself in danger. Or a pair of binoculars.
That's sort of what I do with the daemon already, though. But it's not the same.
Oh, some chickens have come home to roost.
We'll talk about it at a later point, Tolis. But Sajar is right. It's dangerous. And I know you want to be there in person to get a proper first-hand account for it, but you can get hurt or worse. I mean, you saw what happened to Vasa. Tolis's gears grinding in their head, just I
think Vasa, I don't mean anything ill by this, but he kind of stepped in that out of his own volition. But I don't think he did so knowing where he was heading. I think you, on the other hand, Tolis, know where you want to be. Though I don't imagine that the road you're taking there is the one you come out the better for. But then again, there is a will, so there must be a way. If safety is the concern, then perhaps we should look into finding a way to make it safer for you.
I could start researching stuff if that'll convince you guys.
Well, the first person you have convinced is this one right here. I point towards America.
She nods sagely at that. I'm not so close-minded that I'm going to shut down the avenue automatically, Tolis. But do your research and do your best in convincing me. I'm on it. Tolis finishes one last sentence in their ledger, blows it dry, closes the book. Let's see. Now, who is the most offensive person in this company?
We're dang.
Actually, no. Here's a better way of putting it. Who is the squishiest person in the company, but doesn't die or get in harm's way? Because that's the better precedent for Tolis. Not to tank up, but to scour around.
That's a good point.
I don't think Deet's been hit much.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's either Deet or Anushka. It's either Deet or Anushka.
Yep. I think so. I didn't get hit once last fight.
How much did Deet get hit last fight?
Mm.
Dorky, do you remember how much Deet got hit last fight?
I took a note. Let me see.
Oh god, it would be such a pain, but I would love to play a dwarven character who mentally records every time they get hit by something. And it's like, that's a grudgeon. That's a fucking grudgeon.
Run the grudgeon
Back
book.
immediately by killing the thing.
That's a grudgeon, bitch.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get hit that much. I got like my hit point was like 83, and then it was down to 76.
Okay, what about Anushka?
I didn't get hit.
Okay, so to Anushka, so let's go.
I was very fucking lucky.
Well,
Hmm.
well, I suppose we can't keep her out of everything forever.
Well, I'm just glad. You know what? When I was younger, and I was coming into my martial training and my magic in a more serious way, and my mother's idea of, shall we say, to test my mettle, was to dump me in the middle of the desert and tell me, if you come home, then you're welcome back. If you
I
don't
can
make it
see why you and Redain get along so well.
back, how was it he phrased it? They show love in the way they know how, I suppose.
I suppose I should consider myself fortunate that I didn't really know my parents, if that's a way love can be demonstrated.
Are you? My dad, he's soft. He's a soft. He didn't. Hate to speak ill of both of them, but they didn't have exactly have a. They didn't speak for a week after that.
I'm surprised they spoke at all after that.
You know, I made it back, so it's all fine in the end.
She looks at you with like this sad look on her face, like, oh no, you're acclimated to it. I see. Well, let us hope that you don't do that with Tolis. I don't think Tolis has really the fortitude for surviving in the desert alone.
No, she does not. No offense.
Well, do you want some? She takes a wine bottle and sort of holds it up.
Oh yeah, I was
Shakes
just
it.
finishing my dessert wine. Something white and sweet. Yes, I'd love some.
If my observations are true, I believe you, myself, and Deet, Redain to a certain degree as well, would enjoy a nice evening where we just have a bunch of wine.
Yes. Absolutely. Maybe some small fruit.
I was thinking olives.
Not particularly keen on olives myself, but absolutely should be on the tray.
Something from me, at least.
More for you.
So,
I'll bring that up to him. We should make that happen.
perhaps tomorrow.
Well, in the meantime, have a good night, Tolis. Good luck with your research.
Oh, this is like walked off in Indusha's direction.
I see
Well, over
she's
there.
already-
Tolis
Well,
does never relent once her mind is set on something. So, off you go.
Yep. Go mingle.
Go mingle. Did Redane actually have stuff to say to Silas, or was it just a ploy to distance Silas from Oriana?
Yeah, Redane just sort of like walks away and then sits down.
Rewind time. Silas, you walk with Redane a short ways away and sit down at another table that's probably only a mere 6-7 feet away. 8.
That looks like you expected.
Jim just sits there and grabs his drink and slowly sips on it. Like that gif of Idris Elba sipping his drink.
Idris Elba sip. No, that did not give me anything I thought it would. I'll find it myself. You guys keep going. Found it. Redane slowly sips at the drink. Slowly.
So. Very quickly growing annoyed at the silence.
Slowly.
In their head, they're having a
Okay,
staring
Silas.
contest. Who's winning?
Just looks to the drink, looks back at Silas, and has like a confused look on his face, like, I thought you were a bard.
I am.
Then you should know what this is about.
Those tilts their head. They very clearly don't. That or they're acting.
He just takes a sip. Looks
Another
back at
slow
Silas.
sip.
Is it?
Are you?
Holds his hand up and points one finger in like a flicking motion over towards Oriana.
Sass glances back, looks at Redane, glances back, and they're like, "Oh!"
You look in Oriana and Lonen's direction. They're there. I don't know at what point in the conversation that this would be about, but you know, say the mask point where he puts on the table. Yeah.
It visibly clicks with silence. Oh. In that case, I'm leaving. And then Silas leaves.
And there you have it.
Look at you, man. Now back to me.
So, Silas, you leave that neck of the woods, so to speak. Does anyone have anything else? What else? What else does the evening bring in store?
Yeah. She was probably too busy talking battle strategies at this point.
Well, if no one else says anything, I go over to talk to Shavir.
You talk to Shavir, who's in the middle of being half-jokingly chokehold bites your throat. Only half.
I assume is he in like a headlock or sleeper hold?
Yeah, it's like a headlock.
A headlock. All right, so Alexander walks up to these two, and since he's in a chokehold, he's obviously bent forward in a perfect L shape. Alexander will like kind of lean down to look up at Shavir's face, like getting underneath him, saying, "Is now a bad time?"
No, I think this is a good time. A good time. Tariff could have let me down so I could talk to him.
Well, hold on now. It seems like you can talk just fine. I don't think. Unless, Tivka, you would like to, of course.
He raised an eyebrow at you. Me asking if you want him to be let down.
I don't want to be a bother. It seems like you two are having a fun time.
She lets him down.
After much contemplation, I assume.
After much contemplation. Oh, true gods above. Oh, breathe that air. Can't you drink it like liquor? Oh.
That's what the liquor's for. But catch your
Fair
breath.
point.
You're gonna need it. I would like to talk shop with you.
Oh. Music to my ears. Music. Music. Yeah, let me just... He pours himself some scotch. Slams it. Does the throat well. Especially after being held in place. So, Terika begins, like, moving a little bit away. Not, like, to the point where, like, she's gone, but, you know, more of because she's not a nerd going to talk shop. So, talking shop. I mean, you already heard my design theories. He pulls out one of his revolvers and sets it down on the table. Rifle stock built into here. He taps the grip. Longer barrel. Maybe a wooden grip towards the front. Don't want to burn my hands or anything. Although I am wearing gloves. Maybe that's not necessary. Does look cool, though.
Yes, I was hoping I could implement at least the longer barrel into the design of the Imperator here. Imperator here.
I don't see why not.
Something to give it a bit more distance, and maybe if I modify the cylinder a bit, I can give it more of a punch, but that'll come later.
I am absolutely confident in that latter part. Everyone does it. Everyone gets down to the nitty-gritties of the gun itself and the ammunition, or he gestures at your cylinder, or lack thereof. We all, every true, as they call us, gun nut, gets into it eventually.
I will not call myself such.
Not now, but you'll get there. You'll get there.
As you say. Now, let's talk specifics. And, we don't actually have to roleplay all of that.
Okay. Yeah, so Shavir is very knowledgeable on powder, gunpowder weaponry. He's less familiar with your particular situation, but he operates under the presumption that, the dynamics, the ballistic dynamics operate the same as if they were, the same thing, even if they're not.
Right. And would Alexander be able to, translate all this into the more arcane nature of his revolver?
That's a good question, actually. Roll me your Arcana.
Okay.
I will ask. Anushka, what are you up to? I'm just wondering if you would overhear all this shop talk.
I mean, she might too. Because, like I said, she's basically just eating pork and talking to, what's her name?
Your
Golis
girlfriend?
at the minute.
Oh,
yeah, and Amber as well. So no, not Amber. I mean, Amber would be there, I guess. But but she might overhear.
Okay, well, there's a couple of things.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then roll me your perception at a disadvantage, and roll me your insight.
I will say that it's not like Alexander is trying to keep quiet about this. They have pulled out their revolvers and are comparing them.
I mean, that might catch her attention, in all honesty, if they're, holding out the guns. Shit. Wait a minute. So...
Then roll perception straight, but nonetheless roll insight with advantage.
Okay. So...
And then,
straight
did you roll Arcana?
perception...
No, I will now.
And...
Yes, you will.
I will, hey,
die.
what can I do to earn inspiration in the next 10 seconds?
A good first step would not be Kirsty.
Oh, easy, done.
Thanks, mate.
I'm very American.
If I have one, I'll give it to him, Crash.
Don't worry, you did just talk with Kasai. Take a reroll.
Thank you.
Of course.
Much better.
There we go.
Immensely better, yes.
And was it insight you wanted me to roll, yeah?
With advantage, correct.
With advantage, okay.
Wow, that...
Oh my god, that's terrible.
That's average roll, but the result is less inspiring.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
So with the perception roll you did before, you do catch them talking about, boys being boys, talking about their guns.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, Anushka's a boy now. To Alexander, you have a precedent, a basis of knowledge from which to begin pondering what Shavir is pausing onto you. There are certain aspects which do hold true. The effect of a longer barrel on firearms being the most pressing one for you. The thing is, that is less relevant to if, your bullet, so to speak, is less physical than what Shavir is positing. But it does have its effects, and on your mind, you're wondering more on the, integrity of the barrel. Because firing magic out of an item constantly isn't usually good for the item unless it's pre-built for it.
Mm.
And even then, some items even have their limits. Like, look at wands and stuff like that, for example. Like, you can't... Like, some wands are built so simply that, once you use it 3 times, it's tapped. Either forever, until a long rest, or if you try to do a 4th when it breaks, looks at the Thunderous Dagger, stuff like that. You're obviously trying to go for a higher class of equipment for Imperador. So, thusly, that's where your mind focuses. And as the evening continues, and Anushka, you do hear them, and you're free to join them at any point.
The cost is talking to Shavir.
At the cost of talking to Shavir.
I mean, she might do, I guess. But if it sounds like... Well, yeah.
Don't worry, Tiamka's there to do a chokehold.
Yeah, she might go over, after sort of... I don't know, giving Tolis the rundown, just being like, okay, cool. I'm going over here, you can join me if you like. Whew.
So, let's switch
Go away.
So let's switch to that real fast. You begin instructing Tolis on the tactics, methods by which, you are in combat but aren't as hit. Which really comes down to using ranged weaponry, knowing your positioning, not getting caught off guard, or being able to relocate if you are, as well as a dash of sneakiness. As you're describing it to Tolis, sort of finishes out sentences for you, as if Tolis already knows. And you're just like, yeah, that's what would be done, yeah. Yeah, on that one too, yeah. And it gets to the point where you're just wondering, why is Tolis even asking me this shit? It sounds like Tolis already knows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What?
Why are you asking me this stuff again? You...
Well,
Really?
what Marika was just saying that, if I could get some sort of, I don't know, tactical precedent that maybe I can actually start coming with you guys into the field.
Oh, okay. Right, so you just want to... Oh, okay.